Last night, you did something you think is completely normal. You lay down, closed your eyes, and slept 8 hours straight. Or at least you tried to. You're sure people always slept this way, that this is what proper sleep looks like. But that's not true. For almost all of human history, not a single person on Earth slept the way you sleep now. 8 hours straight is an invention. It's barely 100 years old. Before that, people slept twice a night. And what you call your insomnia is really the memory of your body. It all started with one historian. His name is Roger Ekirch. He wasn't looking for anything about sleep. He was studying the night, how people lived after dark. He read old diaries, court records, letters, medical books, and in them, again and again, a strange phrase kept appearing. First sleep, and then second sleep. At first, Ekirch thought it was a coincidence, but the phrase wouldn't go away. It was everywhere. In the end, he counted more than 2,000 references in 10 languages, reaching back through the centuries all the way to Homer and ancient Greece. This wasn't a myth or the habit of one village. The entire Western world slept this way. Now picture that night. Deep darkness. No electricity, no phone, no streetlights. Only the moon, the stars, and a dying fire. People lay down when darkness fell, around 9 in the evening. They slept 3 or 4 hours. This was the first sleep. And then they woke up in the middle of the night. And they weren't afraid. They didn't think they were sick. They simply got up, calmly. This gap between the two sleeps had its own name. They called it the watch. It lasted 1 to 3 hours. And it was the quietest time of the day. Some people added wood to the fire, some prayed. And this matters. Prayer books from the 15th century had special prayers, written just for the hours between the two sleeps. People knew about this time, and they prepared for it. Some talked quietly with whoever slept beside them. Some went out to check on the animals. And some just lay there and thought, without any worry. And here's what's interesting. The dreams right before this waking were especially vivid. People woke straight out of a dream and they could think it over, interpret it. That's why poets and scholars treasured the watch. In that quiet hour when the whole world was asleep, the mind worked best of all. It was fresh, the silence was total, and no one got in the way. A whole creative hour that we simply lost. And there was something else people often did during this time. They made love. A French doctor named Laurent Joubert wrote about it plainly. His advice was, the best time is after the first sleep, not tired in the evening, but rested in the middle of the night. And according to him, that's exactly why ordinary working folk had so many children. And then a person returned to bed and fell asleep again. This was the second sleep. And they slept now until dawn. 2 halves of the night, and between them, a quiet island of being awake. For your ancestors, this was as natural as setting an alarm clock is for you. So what happened? Why did we forget something humanity did for thousands of years? The answer is this object, the light bulb. When artificial light arrived, night stopped being night. Before, the darkness itself put people to sleep. Now you could stay awake, read, work, sit up late. The evening stretched out. The time for sleep shrank. And for 2 sleeps with a 3-hour break, there was simply no room left. One sleep, short, compressed, without the watch. And then a strange thing happened. People still woke sometimes in the middle of the night, just like their ancestors. But now there was no time for it and no idea of the watch. And doctors began to call it an illness. What had been normal for thousands of years turned into a diagnosis: insomnia. We didn't break. We just forgot how it works. And we got scared of our own bodies. And here's the most important part, the part that's about you personally. If you wake up at 3 in the morning and lie there, angry that you can't sleep, maybe there's nothing wrong with you. Maybe it isn't a malfunction. It's an ancient program that was never fully erased. And this isn't just pretty words. It was tested in a laboratory. In 1992, the psychiatrist Thomas Ware ran an experiment. He placed people in darkness for 14 hours a day, like before artificial light. The first few days, they just caught up on sleep. But by the 4th week, this is what happened. Their sleep split itself in 2. 4 hours of sleep, 1 or 2 hours of quiet wakefulness, and another 4 hours of sleep. the body returned to the ancient rhythm, on its own, without any command. Inside every one of us, this ancient schedule is still alive. So the next time you open your eyes at 3 in the morning, don't be angry at yourself. You are not broken. Maybe you just remembered for a moment how everyone before you slept for tens of thousands of years in a row. That same watch, that quiet hour in the middle of the night with nothing frightening about it. And maybe this isn't a time to fight your sleep. It's a time that once belonged to you alone. We learned to sleep a new way in just 100 years. So what else inside us still runs by ancient rules, while we call it a malfunction?